What's right with you? The question perfectly characterizes the strengths approach. Hi, my name is Keith Hall and I serve as the director of the Noel Academy for Strengths-Based Leadership and Education here at Azusa Pacific. And we're so enthused that you're watching this video to acquire just a quick overview about the strengths approach. Now, some of you may be curious, what is this strengths approach all about? Well, I will say this, it is very countercultural. Rather than using an approach that's deficit-based, it really compels us to think about our best resources, our areas of talent, our strengths and ways that we can develop them and build on them to achieve meaningful results. So this movement actually began with a gentleman by the name of Donald Clifton. He served as the chairman of the Gallup organization. And he asked the question, what would happen if we study what is right with people? And this was during a time when psychology, for the most part, focused on deficits and areas of distress and dysfunction, in a word, pathology. And he said, hey, we should consider human possibility. And so he conducted this research project that focused on high achievers. He conducted over 250,000 interviews with the help of the Gallup organization. And from that research, a few findings emerged. The first one was this: high achievers, they spend most of their time in areas of strength. We also discovered from the research that high achievers, they learn to delegate and to partner. And so they accept the fact that they are not good at everything, but they're surrounded by people who are gifted in areas that they're not. And that's a perfect opportunity to cultivate partnerships. The next finding was this: that high achievers, they spend most of their time on strengths and using their strengths to overcome obstacles and apply them in new situations. From this research, the strengths movement really gained traction. And actually the Clifton Strengths Finder, the tool, was developed. So again, we pose to you, what's right with you? Some of you may be curious, how do I discover what's right with me? And so one way to approach that process is through self-reflection and to ask the question, what energizes me? But one of the main ways that we would recommend that you acquire clarity on the way that you're designed and the way that you're wired is by taking the Clifton Strengths Finder. The tool was developed by Donald Clifton, and it reveals your top areas of talent. Yes, your top areas of talent. And it's a unique constellation that's only fitting for you. It details the way that you think, the way that you behave, and the way that you naturally approach life. It is your lens. And so some of you have the talent of woo. And so you enjoy walking into a space and making connections. The term woo actually stands for winning others over. Others of you may have the talent of responsibility. And so you take psychological ownership of whatever's been delegated or tasked for you to do. Others of you may have the signature theme of empathy. And so it's very natural for you to be understanding and to have this empathic capacity. The bottom line is this: it doesn't matter which themes are in your top 5. They're all good. And the emphasis should really be on the approach. I think the beauty of the Clifton Strengths Finder is that it provides this common language, but most importantly, it creates space for us to consider the strengths perspective, seeing the potential and possibility in people and situations. Talent by itself is not enough. Talent needs to be coupled with intentional effort and developed into strengths. And strengths translate to results. So, what are some practical steps that you can take to develop your areas of talent that are reflected in your top 5 to strengths? Step 1 starts with assessment. So you need to take the Clifton Strengths Finder tool immediately, like yesterday. Take the Clifton Strengths Finder and discover your top 5 signature themes. Number 2 is affirmation. So after you discover what your top 5 themes, I would encourage you to print out the results report and have someone who knows you very well, maybe a family member, maybe a friend, maybe a sibling, and have them read over the results and ask them, do you feel like these words and descriptions characterize the way that I think and who I am. The last step is all about application. And so think about ways that you can strategically put these top 5 themes into practice. Academically, relationally, and even professionally. So we encourage you today to take the Clifton Strengths Finder, discover your top 5, and allow the Strengths Quest journey to begin.